Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Study with me. In our previous class we completed Vakataka dynasty. So now we'll see about Vishnukundina dynasty who ruled between 380 and 624 AD. This Vishnukundina is a Sanskritized name for Vinukonda. Vinukonda is a name of town in Andhra Pradesh of Guntur district. Actually, the early rulers of the dynasty migrated to the west in search of employment under Vakatakas. First, they started as vassals to Vakatakas. Vassal is an officer who performed military duties. In return, they were given lands. So, in that process, they became feudatories. The places of Telangana like Rangareddy, Khammam, Karimnagar, Warangal, Nalgonda, Mahabubnagar were ruled by Vishnukundins only. Like many other dynasties that rose imperial power during 4th to 8th century AD. The origin of Vishnukundina dynasty is surrounded with a mystery. So before going to know about the origin or birthplace, we'll know some important points related to Vishnukundina dynasty. So these were some important points which related to Vishnukundina dynasty. First one is the founder of the dynasty is Indravarma. He is also the first king of the dynasty. And capital cities were Amrabad of Mahabubnagar district and Bhuvanagiri Ramannapet belongs to Nalgonda district and Kisargutta of Rangareddy district. This Bhuvanagiri is now Yadadri Bhuvanagiri district and languages they used were Sanskrit and Telugu language. Religion was Hinduism and last king of the dynasty is Manchana Bhattaraka. And also there is an important point which you need to remember is that they built Indrapala in Nalgonda district and Eluru of Amaravati district. These two were very important, just to remember them. If you see the origin or birthplace of the dynasty, this dynasty is initially ruled from Indrapala Nagara, which is in Nalgonda district of Telangana state, and later they shifted to Dendluru and Amaravati of Andhra Pradesh. The area north of the Godavari river. So if we see the Indian map, I'm drawing a rough one. So if we see the Godavari, in the north we have Kalinga here, and in the south Krishna river, this fell to Pallavas. So this may be the region that Vishnukundinas were ruled. However, Indologist says that Vishnukundina dynasty is a phantom dynasty, which means that whose origin or period cannot be fixed. So as it is a phantom dynasty, now we'll see some places as their origin. First one is Vinukonda as its origin. According to Keelhorn, Vinukonda is a home of Vishnukundins. This Vinukonda is the place of Andhra Pradesh. So now we'll see Srisailam as its origin. The Tummalagudam place which describes Vishnukundina dynasty as Sri Parvatiyas, that is of Srisailam. In fact, all the grants except Madhavavarman I call themselves as devotees of Sri Parvata. So their origin is mainly Sri Parvata. And next one is Ayodhya as its origin. We have a theory which states us that they belong to Kaundinya Gotra of Kshatriyas who migrated from Ayodhya during the 5th century. But we have evidence to back up this theory, that the theory deriving its name from Vishnukonda, which literally means fire pit. So these theories are connecting it with Vishnu Kundina river. So by this theory we can say that Ayodhya is the origin of Vishnu Kundina dynasty. And now Western Karnataka has its origin. The king Madhavarman II has been described in this inscription as Trikuta Malai, which means Adipati or Lord of Trikuta Malaya. Some experts say that they may assisted the overlords Vakatakas against Trikutas, but to say the Lord of Trikutas puts it beyond their capabilities. The Vakatakas of Narendra Sena and Harisena defeated the Trikutas, who ruled at the same time as Madhavarman I, and they claim maybe due to this relation only. On the basis of Indrapala Nagara grant, we have B.N. Shastri assumes that the early rulers of this dynasty migrated to the west in search of employment, and under Vakatakas they might have attained feudatory status with Indrapala Nagara in Nalgonda district as its capital city. Now we'll see Central Indian as its origin. This Rikuda in this identified as Tagara, and I forgot to mention here. Please write it. Mahendragiri, also Amaravati. And said they are from central regions. But here the evidences are lacking. And the last one is Vakatakas as its origin. The king Madhavarman married a Vakataka princess, and they occupied the Vakataka areas of Srisailam after the demise of Vakatakas. So this leads to the speculation that they are related to Vakatakas and they are the protege of Vakatakas. At the end, they came to a conclusion that the original home of Vishnu Kundins is Vinukonda of Andhra Pradesh, and they were a local dynasty, and also they were the devotees of Srisailam. And the inscription we have is Malaya inscription, which has been taken to be the Srisailam hills. They mainly worship Lord Shiva. So this is all about the origin or birthplace of Vishnu Kundina dynasty. So if you get a question on this, what is the origin of Vishnu Kundins, you need to remember this Vinukonda. These are the 10 important inscriptions we have for Vishnu Kundina dynasty, and the Tummalagudam plates was issued by Govindavarman I, Velpuru pillar, Aipur plates, Khanapur, Aipur plates 2. All these were issued by Madhavavarman I, and the Ramatirtham plates was issued by Indravarman. Tummalagudam plates 2, Kundlapalam, all these 3 were issued by Vikramendra Varman. And Polamuru plates were issued by Mahendra Varman. All these inscriptions gives us details about Vishnu Kundina dynasty, but there are 2 inscriptions which were found recently at Indrapala Nagara, which are Tummalagudam inscription 1 and 2, issued by Govindavarman and Vikramendra Varman. These inscriptions did not give lot of details, and some of these were badly ruined. That is why the several details of especially those details pertaining to the extent of their kingdom, expansion to the kingdom, and battles fought by them. The inscriptions only reveal the names of donor king and ancestors of 2 or 3 generations before him, and also receiver's name. So they are not useful to know the details of their political history. Except Tummalagudam, no other inscription does not have the number of Saka year. All the other inscriptions just reveal the names of the kings and the year of their rule. Only Tumbalagudam inscription revealed not only the year of the rule of particular king but also the number of Saka year, which helped us to decide the time period of their rule. And some other inscription noted the seasons and also the month of the moon. This system was followed in the practice inscriptions of that period. The early inscription of Vishnukundina kings mentioned the Tithi also. Tithi means a day in Telugu calendar, and also the Paksh means month in which they were issued, and later kings mentioned the year of the rule and the kings also. The inscriptions of Telangana region reveal some more history of Vishnukundina dynasty, and the two important inscriptions found at Tummalagudam. The first one is Tummalagudam inscription, which was issued by Govinda Varma. It has 32 sentences. He issued it on his 37th ruling year in the Telugu month of Vishaka on Purnima, which means the full moon day. It started with prayers to Lord Buddha. On the names of Vishnukundina dynasty were given Indravarma, Mahendravarma, and also Govinda Varma. It also described the characteristics like victories, truthfulness, sacrifice, knowledge, talents of Vishnukundina kings, and also kings were described as Maharajas only. So this is the second Tummalagudam inscription, which was issued by Vikramendra Varman, which has 55 sentences in it, and the 12 lines between 17 to 28 tells us about the details of Parma Bhattaraka, the queen, and it started with the description of Uttamashraya is a son of Satyashraya who lighted this earth as sun with his victories. It narrated that the Vishnukundina dynasty ended their kingdom by worshipping Lord Sri Parvata Swami, and it was described that the rulers of Vishnukundina dynasty were great as Brahmakshatriyas and also very justice rulers like Lord Vishnu. This inscription gives us names of ruling periods of 5 kings who are Govinda Varman, Mahendra Varma, Vikramendra Varman, Indra Bhattaraka, and Vikramendra Bhattaraka Varman. Until recently, it was thought that the Vishnukundina dynasty was a small ruling family which ruled the Telugu region. But after studying the inscription found in Indrapala Nagara named Tummalagudam and their coins, archaeologists came to a conclusion that this was not a small dynasty. Their coins were also found at Eleshwaram of Nalgonda district, Kisaragutta, Karimnagar, and also at Medak district, which proved that they ruled the whole Telangana region once. And their coins found not only in Telangana but also at Panar, Brahmapuri, Prakasa, Vivasa regions of Madhya Pradesh, Nasik, and Nagpur of Maharashtra. And the coins of Vishnukundina dynasty were made up using a different technique called as casting technique, which means pouring a molten metal into a mold, which is done by striking metal piece with a seal. These coins were had symbols like lion symbol and a vase or lamp symbol. This lion symbol coins are made like lion symbol standing with open mouth and a twisted tail, uplifted paw in the backside. So this lion symbol coins defines the royal power of the Vishnukundina dynasty, and vase or lamp symbol coins defines the prosperity of the Vishnukundina dynasty. So these are some images of coins of Vishnukundina dynasty. Here you can see the lion with open mouth and a twisted tail. These coins inspired so many other dynasties at that time. So this is all about our today's class. In our next class, we'll discuss in detail about all the kings of Vishnu dynasty. Thanks for listening to this class. If you like this class, please share it with someone who need these classes. And also don't forget to subscribe my channel Study With Me. Thank you again. See you all in the next class.